Hi, this is Jeff from Studio 41, and with the next Xbox upon us, I figured this would be a great time to give my top 10 Xbox 360 exclusives. A lot of people think that the 360 has no exclusives too, and I might just change their mind with this video as well. So without further ado, let's kick things off with my number 10, one of the first exclusives the 360 had, Perfect Dark Zero. Perfect Dark Zero was the prequel to Super Studio Rare's Nintendo 64 hit Perfect Dark. And with the game set in the year 2020, 3 years before the original game, Perfect Dark Zero had a crazy story. It had multiple scenarios for endless replayability, and even had support for up to 50 different players using Xbox Live, which still stands up today. And for its time, the game had great graphics and some really great special effects as well. Coming in at number 9 on our list, we have the third-person shooter and open-world game, Crackdown. The game is pretty much built around two things: shoot bosses and collect orbs. And searching for orbs is a very, very addicting thing to do, and the game pretty much tells you to go ahead and play. It's open world, you can run around and do whatever you want. And as IGN's Douglas Perry famously put it, Crackdown enables gamers to lose themselves completely, discarding time and priorities, hunger, bodily functions, and even ignoring natural disasters. Once you boot it up, the game's allure to collect orbs, jump higher, and wield more powerful weapons will suck you in and leave you wanting more. And it's called Crackdown for a reason. Even though I never played it, sounds like it would be a pretty fun game, and I almost wish I'd gotten it when it was free on Xbox Live 4 months ago. Coming in at number 8 on our list, we have the first Halo game on this list. Yes, there will be more, I'll admit that right now. It is a 360 exclusives list, though, and you have to give Halo its due. And at number 8, we have Halo 4. Halo 4 is the beginning of the second trilogy of the Halo franchise. It picks up where Halo 3 left off after the legendary ending, if you played that. And it is a great game. The story, it's absolutely great. The multiplayer is pretty good. It's not amazing. I don't know what it was. They lost a ton of people, though. Like, I think a few months ago, might have been earlier in the year, actually. I don't know why a lot of people stopped playing it, but it's a great game, and it's on this list for a reason. With number 7 on our list, we have the most recent entry in the Forza franchise, before Friday that is, Forza Motorsport 4. With Kinect controls, drivers can literally drive the cars that they choose to. And with crazy customization and dream cars and dream tracks to choose from, Forza Motorsport is great for racing novices and experienced drivers alike. And is probably the greatest racing sim ever made. Sorry, Sony people and Gran Turismo. Coming in at number 6 on our list, we have the second intro into Epic Games' Epic franchise, Gears of War, with Gears of War 2 coming in at number 6. Gears of War 2 was the sequel to Gears of War, and one of my favorite games of all time, especially the Horde mode, which I think they tried a little bit too hard on Gears of War 3, but this isn't Gears of War 3 thing. This is Gears 2. The Gears 2 story was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was one of the best stories I've ever played through. It's definitely a co-op game. I'd never played it co-op, but I imagine it would have been even better on there. The story was absolutely insane. It twists and turns like crazy. You lose some of your squad mates. Your squad mate even loses someone close to him. That hits you really hard. It's one of the most emotional games I think you will ever play. And overall, I think it's the best out of the series. I'm not counting Gears of War Judgment, really. That was not a great game. But Gears of War 2, solid game. It's on this list for a reason. I don't think any 360 list would be complete without having at least one of the Fable games. And we will make the list as we have Fable 2 coming in at number 5. With Fable 2, you can make any choice you want to make. And since you start out as a child, all those choices define who you become and what you do when you grow up. And you can choose as a man or a woman, you can get married, you can have children, and you can live the life that you want to live. Literally, the virtual life you wish you could have in real life. You can do it in this game. And with all the different choices you make, they all lead to different final destinies and define who you are. Coming at number 4 on our list, we have my favorite zombie killing game of all time. And even though it's not technically an exclusive because it's on PC, it was a console exclusive to 360. So I'm calling it good enough. We have Left 4 Dead 2. And Left 4 Dead 2, I really think it's a lot more fun when you play it with people, because even though the AI isn't totally stupid, it's not great. And it's really meant to be played online, because the online for it's one of the most fun online experiences you'll ever have. You get 4 people playing as infected and the 4 survivors, and you pretty much just battle it out like crazy. It's one of the greatest online experiences I think anybody will ever play. And I really can't wait to see what they have for Left 4 Dead 3 over there at Valve. Supposedly they're working on it, and they can't get it done soon enough, because I will buy it right away, because it is definitely a great game, and a very, very just fun game. At number 3, go ahead, yell homer at me again. We have Halo Reach. Halo Reach, for me, it's on this list so high for one reason, and that is story. Bungie goes out with a bang with Halo Reach, and wow, the story for Halo Reach is absolutely fantastic. I think it might be the best story game I've ever played, and the ending of the single player mode is absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't have had it any other way. You go down friggin' guns blazing. It's a game where you start it up and you already know the ending, if you know anything about Halo at all. And they get you though in the middle. You're fighting, you're winning, and you're like, alright, we can win this. Even though in the back of your mind, you already know you're going to lose. But it really just hits you midway. They are talking like, is there any chance that we have a winning? And they're like, no. And it just hits you right there like, crap. I've been winning this whole time, but we're going to lose. And I have to say, leading in the Halo, it's utterly fantastic. The multiplayer, I think they went too Call of Duty-ish with the multiplayer, but it doesn't even matter. That game could have had no multiplayer, and I would have played it like crazy like I did originally. It's absolutely fantastic. At number 2, I could see this being a little bit controversial, but I've never heard a single bad thing about this game. At number 2, we have the game Alan Wake. This game sounds a bit different from some of the other games that I've heard of or seen. The main character, he's a horror book writer, and Alan, obviously is his name, he loses his wife while he's on vacation, and he's trying to find her, and he ends up in this town, and he pretty much is trapped in a book that he wrote. He finds that he can find like pieces of a manuscript that he wrote but doesn't remember writing, and it tells about what's going on around him. So he tries to find his wife, but he's constantly under attack by the dark enemies, and he's got to try and kill them and go find his wife. But the presentation, it's in 6 different chapters, and it's laid out like a TV show. Each chapter or episode is like a mini TV show. And it's up here for a reason. I've never heard a single bad thing. People praise this game like no other. And it's up here for a reason. I've never heard a single bad thing about it. It sounds like a very interesting game, and one I wouldn't mind trying out sometime, except I'm not a big horror game person. Well, here we are. If you stuck by me to the end, we're at number 1, and number 1 is indeed Halo 3. I did mention earlier that several Halo games made this list because it is an Xbox 360 exclusive list, and Halo has to be well represented. And Halo 3, it is my favorite game of all time, but for several reasons. The first and biggest being the story. The story in Halo 3 is absolutely fantastic, and in the Halo series, it's second to none. It blows all the rest of them away. Another reason being multiplayer. The multiplayer in Halo 3 is absolutely fantastic. Every gun is balanced. Everybody starts with an assault rifle and finds guns by scavenging through the map. And another reason is the Forge mode, which lets you build any map you want from the preset maps that are in the game. Obviously, in the newer Halo games, they've made it insane where you can pretty much build your map out of complete scratch. But I know in Forge mode, the original Forge mode in Halo 3, I wasted hours upon hours just building maps to my heart's content. And another reason, even though it was a bit smaller, was the theater mode, which let you go through and save your highlights from your games. I know I went crazy with that also. But that's why Halo 3, I feel, is number 1 on this list and is the best Xbox 360 exclusive ever made. So, thanks for sticking with me. I know I can get a little monotonous sometimes, but that is my list of top 10 360 exclusives. In the comments below, feel free to tell me why I'm wrong, tell me what you would do, who you would switch out, who you would take out of the top 10, what games you would put in the top 10, and also subscribe to Studio 41 to see what we're going to do next. We're getting a lot more active here now, since we're starting to get our feet under us, I should say. So, subscribe, tell me why I'm wrong, tell me why I'm right. You know, it's YouTube, go crazy. And thank you for watching.